I heard the promo during the break, and I'm just curious about this. So it's pretty cool. David Hochberg, great friend of the station. He has helped with my social media campaign, Shane Reardon's social media campaign, to give money away on Venmo. Hit our $3,000 weekly limit in one day for the third straight week. So $9,000 given to mostly Chicagoans and Score fans over the last 3 weeks. David Hochberg was a help with that, as are all of you, though. Like, I'm going to need more people to donate if I'm going to be able to hit it again next week. The funds are at their lowest point in about 3 weeks. You can check out it on Twitter or Danny-Parkins on Venmo if you want to contribute. But David Hochberg is sponsoring something on Shane Reardon's Instagram page tonight. Good old Shane's Meat. You and Shane were the best cooks at Scorehouse. And they're doing it. So Shane is going to be doing a cooking tutorial on Instagram tonight. And it got me to thinking.
Relevant, some might say.
Yeah, okay. Well, what does that mean?
It's relevant. All content for all people tonight for Shane Reardon on Instagram. But it got me to thinking, is Shane Reardon the clear number one seed? Like, is he the Joe Burrow of Score employees, current Score employees, that you would want to be quarantined with if you needed to be, like, if we had to build a power ranking or a team to be quarantined with, if we weren't with our families, would Shane Reardon, because of his cooking prowess and his overall work ethic, would he be the clear-cut number one choice? Because I say yes.
On our show, he would be the hands-down number one, and I would suspect...
I'm saying the whole station. Whole station.
Well, you know, I don't know if he would be the morning show's cup of tea. Just a thought. Certainly he would be with us, and I would guess, although Bernstein tires of him, they argued a few times out at Scorehouse. But your point's valid. On our show, he would be Joe Burrow, no doubt. I would take him first. Yeah. If we had to draft guys we were going to be quarantined with, if that's what you want to do, I'm all for it. I like the idea.
Well, because even within our show, like, I think I love you guys. You know, you're my mob, but I think I would take Shane before I'd take any of you guys. Like, he's just valuable.
Oh God, yes. Oh, yes.
Right, like he's a good cook.
Yeah.
He's strong. He can help lift things if there's any sort of fight that happens or furniture needs to be moved.
Hate to break your heart, but you're not on my draft board.
Yeah, no, neither are you. I mean,
I wouldn't want to be.
Draft day.
Actually, you might be on my draft board because you are a good cook and you have a huge house. So, like, if we could do quarantine at Mac Manor, like, being able to be on a golf course with a pool, like, I think you probably have the best place of anybody to be quarantined. So you actually are on my draft board.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. You would have enough space to get away from me, and you'd be able to go outside and breathe a little bit and see trees, which is always good.
Yeah, so for my first pick would be Shane Reardon. Who is the second pick? If we're in agreement on Shane, who's the second pick? You have to be quarantined for the duration of the COVID-19 stay-at-home order with a Score employee. Who's the second pick?
It has to be on the air staff, or can I go behind the scenes?
Well, Shane's not on the air staff.
That's true. He gets a lot of air time, but Russ Matera is a guy who would appear high on my list. He's our imaging director. Yeah, a production guy. How about that?
Good pick. Good pick.
Yeah, thank you. I got some value there. Yeah, he's the pass rusher from Ohio State who's going to make my defense transformative. Let me go Russ Matera with my first round choice.
Well, can you extrapolate on expand on why? Because the audience is not as familiar with Russ Matera's attributes as they might be with Chase Young from Ohio State.
He's really mellow. Believe it or not, I'm a really quiet guy away from work most of the time. I don't always like a ton of conversation, and he's mellow, indoor voice, and he has skills in the kitchen. And I think he certainly would carry his end of the bargain in terms of sharing a workload. And we could talk at length about how much we love chasing big toothy critters, members of the Esox family in the summer months, the North American muskellunge.
Tanny, do you have a submission for the third pick in the draft?
That's an easy one. He's my podcast partner on Locked On Sox. He's already at my house a lot of the time anyway because of the podcast. I'm going to go with my guy, Herb Lawrence. That's an easy one.
There you go. There you have it.
Yeah, that makes sense. You guys are good friends.
I mean, he's been a big part of this Scorentine. It's me and him back here at the shop every day. So we're leaning on each other in a lot of ways here.
Sounds comfortable.
Oh, Herb is very comfortable.
Yeah. Okay. I like it. I don't know if I don't think we have.
We have Shep here.
We have
Yeah,
Shep.
on the hotline
Okay.
here.
Shep, do you have a fourth pick if we're building a quarantine roster here? Who would you want to be quarantined with Shane Reardon, Russ Matera, and Herb Lawrence off the board?
Well, I think that it's the guy that I get to sit next to each and every day. Well, I used to be able to sit next to him each and every day. He can cook for me. He can laugh at my bad jokes, unlike anyone else ever offers to do. None other than Chris Tannehill. You're coming home with me, big boy.
Wow, I'm flattered.
Whoa.
I thought you were going to do a 180 and say, Jay Zawoski.
I thought that's where he was going, too. Yeah. I'm delighted Zazer's still on the board for my quarantine, though. Nothing against you, Danny. But
Well, I think. Well, Shep, are we doing a full draft, Shep? Do you
I
have
don't know. Sounds
Shep,
that way. We don't
do you have?
Really?
Do,
Yeah, hey, we got 5 minutes till we have to break, right?
Can we get,
Yeah,
Mark,
then
can
I
we get
guess I
Mark
get
Grody
the,
on and explain how the draft process works here?
yeah,
Mark
Shep, you're
Grody's
on the board.
Yeah, Mark Grody's going to be chosen next by me if no one else claims him.
Oh wow, tipping your hand,
I know.
Yeah, I
Brian
didn't think
Chase
so.
over here.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I just traded up to get Grody. Even though I held the pick, I just took Grody 5th overall because when all else fails, I need someone to do impersonations of impersonations, and Grody's just the man.
Okay. There it is. Mark Grody off the board. He's on Team Shep, joining Chris Tannehill.
All right, so I'm going to go with another guy who I was on the air with here last week, who I've been doing shows with here at the station, producing for many years. I've sat through a lot of bad White Sox baseball with this man. I'm going to go with Joe O. Joe Ostrowski.
There you have it. Joe O. You guys can wager on marbles and watch them on Facebook together during your Scorentine.
All right, Mac, you're on the board. We're drafting our quarantine buddies based on score attributes because I think Shane Reardon is the clear number one pick. He's doing his Instagram tonight, teaching us how to cook. I got him with the number one overall pick. Mac, you took Russ Matera, second overall. Who are you taking with the 7th pick?
I'm taking the program director, Mitch Rosen, a friend of more than 20 years and a man who lives to make others happy. That's his love language. He likes to perform acts of service for people and doesn't ask for anything in return, although he would be getting it on my end because I'm the same way. That's what winds my clock. So Mitch Rosen would be joining me in my version of Scorentine with Russ Matera.
That's a pretty good one. He would be asking you if you're okay a lot.
Yes.
He would be constantly checking in, and that would be reassuring.
Well, I could be a fly on the wall of their car as they drive around and listen to the radio station together and critique it. You know that's a semi-annual tradition of theirs.
Yes. Yeah, I know. Mitch goes, I'm out of the office all day. What are you doing? Driving.
I can drive. They can sit in the back seat and just comment on everybody, and I'll just take notes.
That's not. Yeah, it's a good way to do an air check, right? Get away a little bit. It's just like, what else do I need if I've got a guy to cook and lift things who will go with the flow? You know, maybe I need a, as you would call it, like a plane in the air partner because Shane doesn't partake.
Yeah.
And you don't want to be solo doobaging the entire time if you're quarantining. So I think I'm going to go with Matt Spiegel because I know that we vibe well in that type of headspace together. So I will take Matt Spiegel for my quarantine partner, relive the Spiegel and Parkins days, and then I'll just take Jay Zawoski on the comeback, babe. The one half of the I'm Fat podcast.
Okay, all right. You got Zazer. My pick then to wrap up my draft. Is that where we're at here?
Yeah. Three
right.
guys per
we got
person.
4 rounds. We got to go 4, guys. Come on.
I'll take David Haw. I'll take David Haw. That's that Ball State allegiance. Nothing pretentious about David. He's a mellow dude. He's not going to get under my skin. I'd have to worry about getting under his probably. So, yeah, I'm liking my group. Russ Matera, Mitch Rosen, and David Haw. That's a lively quartet, the 4 of us.
That is strong.
You're mocking me. You don't mean that. That's strong.
You reached on Matera. Let's just say what it is. You reached.
Reached on Matera.
You could have had him in the second or third round. That was an off the board pick. overvaluing. You're the
I
Ryan
know.
Pace of this
You're
draft.
Right, you're right. I could have had Grody and Matera. What a house that'd be. Now Shep's got Grody and I'm SOL. You're right.
That's what I'm
Danny
saying.
Parkins is still on vacation.
That's my guy. Who's on the board, Tanny?
Yeah, sure. Why not? I'll go with the guy who who's offered me his season tickets for the White Sox on many an occasion.
There we go.
He is an avid lover of sweets, so I know we would be fully stocked with all sorts of cookies and brownies and cupcakes. I'm going to go with Terry Boers' 2 favorite words in show business.
There you go.
All of the donuts for all of your quarantine needs, Tanny. That'd be perfect.
Exactly right.
Shep, your last 2 picks or your last? No, I don't even.
No,
remember.
last 2 picks. We got to go 4 rounds. We can make 4 rounds out of this. We might be able to get 5 out of this. We really wanted to. So, yeah, 2 picks for me. One of them, I lived with him. The man brewed his own beer when I lived with him. His brother did need a place to stay, so he would occasionally, end up setting up shop in the back room of our old apartment. However, Connor McKnight, great person to live with. He'll cook for you. He'll make you a beer, and he'll smile while doing that. So I'll take Connor. And then my final pick, I'll take him from the Bears postgame show. The guy has a beer made after him called the Long Snapper Brew. I have to take Pat Manley.
Oh,
Okay.
Oh, man.
does that count?
What do you
Sure.
mean does that count?
Sure. He's on the air staff.
Yeah, no, you're right. Because and you could do it at Manly Manor. He just set up a golf simulator in his house. I saw on Instagram.
That'd help Shep.
Well, I'm just saying, for me,
Patrick
that-
would let him use it. He'd be breaking vases in the adjacent room. He's the only guy I've ever seen who can hit the ball sideways.
Yeah, no, that's. I'm not. Yeah, no, for Shep, that's not added value. I didn't think about Manly because having someone on your team with a big house is really, really valuable. All right, good pick, Shep. That's good value.
Yeah, it's a good all 4 rounds of my draft is far and away the best so far. Bernstein's still out there, guys. Danny?
Good.
Yeah, well aware. Thank you very much. I didn't need to remind anyone else that Dan Bernstein's still on the board.
We know who works here.
Yeah. I'm going to go with the guy who I speak to a lot outside of work. If you go through my text messages and DMs, I'm talking with this guy all the time, sharing Sopranos memes. It's Kevin Zepek.
There you go.
All right.
So his value in a quarantine situation is that he can get Sopranos quotes. Danny, is that?
We could reenact entire Sopranos scenes for everyone else and really pass the time, hours and hours, just doing Sopranos scenes.
Okay.
Our favorite is where AJ comes home with the Sharpie eyebrows. We could do that scene to perfection.
Perfect. Mac, who's your last pick?
I'm going to take Wani. He's got a house.
Ooh.
It's in Florida. Yeah. If Shep can take Manley, I'm taking Wani.
Manley hosts shows, though.
Yeah. So does Wani.
Does he?
Well, he guests on shows.
Right.
Oh, you're not going to let me have Wani. Okay.
No, you can have Wani. I mean, listen, there's no rules here.
Hey, then I want to take Will Purdue so we can call Michael Jordan.
All right, we might have to do 5 or 6 rounds now, guys.
No, we're way late.
All right, fine. You get Wani, and I'll take Ray Diaz because there's no one more likable and agreeable at the entire station than Ray Diaz. That was fun. We'll talk to Hub Arkish. Oh, what a draft snub Hub was. Next on The Score.